hours. That's fabulous. Thank you so much. Keep up the great work.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you.
All right, take care. Scott, over to you.
All right, thank you, Brett. Now, throughout the day, we've been listening to and seeing some incredible stories, remarkable stories of courage and perseverance from this year's Miracle Kids of 2014. But we're also getting reacquainted with some of our Miracle Kids of the past, like in 2010, that of Lauren Strobel. Now, her story is one that is surprising of sorts. Her mother, Christy, was having a normal pregnancy, she thought, so she had no reason to believe that any complications would happen. In fact, her baby was overdue is when she went to have induced labor that something went wrong. And then Christy says that she and her husband realized that something just wasn't right. Here's her story.
It all of a sudden dawned on me that I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear her crying and nobody was saying anything. And I remember turning and looking to Mike and going, what's going on? Why isn't she crying?
9.5-pound Lauren, more than a week overdue, wasn't breathing. Her APGAR score, which checks a newborn's condition, was 0. She had no heartbeat. 18 long minutes later, a very faint heartbeat. At 22 minutes, Lauren had a heartbeat, but she still wasn't breathing.
Just watching all the doctors working frantically and hearing them count and doing CPR on our daughter, you know, and not hearing her cry. It's not something I'll ever forget.
Doctors in Elmira knew that Lauren needed help and fast. They kept her temperature cool, but they knew her best chances were at Golisano Children's Hospital, the first in upstate New York to make cooling therapy a standard for babies like Lauren.
As soon as she hit our door, she was put on a bed with a cooling blanket.
Dr. Ronnie Gillette, Lauren's doctor.
We got an EEG when she first came in, and she had very, very little brain activity.
If Lauren was to survive, the cooling blanket was her only hope.
And we maintained her temperature at 33.5 degrees centigrade for 72 more hours, gradually rewarmed her over 6 hours.
Mike was with his newborn, but Christy was still in Elmira. She just had major surgery, and she was preparing for the worst.
I honestly thought I'm going to have to plan for a funeral. I'm going to have to leave here and plan for a funeral. Yeah.
But the very next day, Christy was out of bed and on the road to Rochester. When she saw Lauren in the NICU,
she was very cold to the touch. You just felt her, and it just so cold, like you've been outside without any type of clothing on. It just so cold.
And over the next few days, the news about baby Lauren's chances was equally as chilling.
Whether it was in her best interest to take her off the ventilator, let her family hold her, and let her pass peacefully, or whether the family wanted us to keep supporting her on the ventilator and play it day by day.
The Strobels chose to keep going. 5 days later, Lauren opened her eyes. After 3 weeks and 3 days in the NICU, she went home, just in time for Mother's Day.
And here is beautiful Lauren right now, and wow, has she grown. Christy and Mike, her parents, I can't believe it. I mean, it's been great seeing her grow throughout the years here at this telethon.
It's I can't believe it's been 4 years. It's amazing.
So how is she doing now?
She's doing very well. She's had her hearing aids for about 1.5 years now, and she's learning to talk, and we took her to Disney World, and that really seemed to, I don't know, light a switch, or she's been really outgoing and friendly since then. She can read and write. She's not talking that much yet, but we think that's because the hearing aids are still pretty new.
But every once in a while she does talk, and she's writing full sentences.
Yeah, this is a song about Lauren, or, you know, she reads and writes all the time.
Now, you've been making the trip here from Elmira for the past how many years?
Every year we come up, we do the stroll for Strong Kids, and then we come up, and if you invite us on, we come up and visit with you guys too. We love doing it, and we do it every year.
Why is it so important? I mean, obviously we know, but explain how important this really is.
It's just amazing. We wouldn't have her today if it wasn't for Golisano and everything that they've done for us. And the doctors and the nurses have been fantastic. In all honesty, we would not have her, and we remember that every single day, that we wouldn't have her if it wasn't for Golisano and the doctors that were, especially Dr. Gillette, and they never gave up hope on her.
In the beginning, it didn't look good.
No, we sat down with the doctors and got the DNR, the speech, and, you know, what do you want to do if things don't go very well, and we decided to, and we all thought it'd be best to keep fighting, and the doctors and nurses were just amazing. And she mentioned Dr. Gillette, but there were so many people that were so instrumental in getting Lauren to this point.
How has this whole experience changed your perspective on life?
You know what? I don't know that I would have, I don't want to say that I wouldn't have appreciated her. I don't know that I would have appreciated her so much. Every second with Lauren is the most important thing I have going every day. When I get home from work, it's the first thing I do is grab her, and when I go to sleep at night, she's the last thing I see. And I'm sure my wife would feel the same way.
Absolutely, absolutely. We do cherish every single day, and I don't think we would have if it wasn't for that. This experience, we tried to make it as positive as we could. I mean, it's definitely a challenge. And those first few weeks were very difficult, but every day we thank God and we thank Golisano for being here.
And there's there's things that we're going to have to deal with, and little issues like her hearing issues and some developmental delays.
We'll
but
take it.
absolutely, she's here, and whatever else comes is fine. We'll deal with it.
Well, thank you so much for coming again.
Thank you,
We
Leah.
appreciate it. And Lauren, thank you for coming. See, she's trying to talk. Send it over to Brett.
All right, Leah, thank you so much. I'm here with Kathleen Graham from Tops Markets in the Community Relations Department.